Hello everyone, this is ISmileyzI, and welcome back to my Layton Brothers Mystery Room walkthrough. In this episode, we'll be getting into Case 2, so we're just going to go ahead and delve right into it. If you notice any lag in the sound or lag in the footage, my software that I was using to share my iPad screen with my computer was acting up a little bit when I recorded this, so that would be why. So, case number 2. We have a woman here with an IV of some sort, looking for Al, but I guess he's not around. Yeah, there was a lot of sound lag right there. And again, if I'm going through the dialogue too slow or too fast, feel free to comment letting me know. I will definitely change that. Also, happy 4th of July to all the Americans out there. Tomorrow is 4th of July as of recording this. So, appears we have a new case. Oh. Well, that seems like a straightforward case. I don't know why we would be getting involved. Of course, something doesn't add up. There must be some sort of mystery, or it wouldn't be the mystery room. And apparently she's really sick or something. I don't know. Kind of an odd character design. The prof. And she starts calling him prof like Lucy does. And he gets a little bit flustered. So, we're going to be taking on this case. Oh boy. Alright, so apparently we already have the file. Oh, we better solve it. Failure's not an option. He doesn't want to be called prof for the rest of his days. Professionalism will see us through? Good one, Lucy. Good one. And here's the little introduction that we get with every case. Studio flat. There's a dead guy. Covered in broken glass. There are the suspects. Again, there are 3 of them. And again, video lag. Oh. The other side of the prof. Well, we'll be getting into that towards the end of the case. The Bungled Burglary. Again, this case isn't too hard, but I gotta go through case 1 and 2 before I get to the later cases. So, Alfendi is just going through the details of the case. Apparently, someone broke into the flat and murdered this guy. Jack Potsby. I kinda like his name, actually. And his wife, Goldie Potsby Mon. Apparently she was having a shower. And came out, and he was dead. A muscular man dressed entirely in black. Well, I do have to say that one of the suspects was dressed in black, but he didn't really look too muscular to me. Stupid lag, man. Alright. So the caretaker came up and opened the door, and after hearing the ruckus and searched the grounds and found the suspicious looking guy seen in the picture. Buster Nix is the little guy, silhouette guy there. Apparently a petty thief. Although I have to say, like I said before, he does not look too muscular to me. And Lucy thinks he's lying. Typical. So he says he ran off after he heard the glass break. But he didn't see anyone come down. Interesting. Well, he could be lying, or if he's telling the truth, that means he's probably innocent. Ah, yes, like the prof say, he probably would say that he would see someone else running away if he had done it. Silly Lucy. But like the prof says, things do get complicated a little bit if Nix is innocent. Time to make deductions. So it's time for him to put Lucy on the spot again. But first, he has to go over the suspects in detail. There's Buster Nix. Apparently he's 61 years old. Really? Like, a muscular man dressed entirely in black. And he's 61? I don't think he would have done it. Hey man, 61-year-olds can be muscular, I guess. I'm not quite sure if it's him, though. Morgue, stupid lag. I apologize for that. It annoys me too, but it was not getting any better, and I really wanted to record some here. Next suspect is the caretaker, who came up and apparently searched and found the guy who did it. The main thing that makes him suspicious is maybe he could have just staged the whole thing. And finally, we have the wife. And apparently Lucy's surprised that the prof there doesn't find the wife attractive, I guess. So we get a little check files thing up in the corner like last time. And he's going to ask us to give us his gut feeling. This is the first case where you don't have to investigate the crime scene. And we get this little menu. This menu pops up with every case. I do believe I stay on here a little while just to give me some time to explain it. First, you can identify the killer immediately. This, you can just take a wild guess without looking at any of the crime scene, any evidence, any statements. Well, you could look at the evidence and statements if you wanted to, and then just take a wild guess on who the culprit is. Then you go on with the investigation to the deduction screen and so on. Asking for advice. This is what I'm going to do here just to show you. What that does, you'll ask Alfendi. Alfendi will give you like advice, hinting sort of as to who he think did it, or what to look for to figure it out. The third thing is you could investigate the crime scene, which goes down exactly the way it did in the first case. You search the crime scene, you have 5 minutes, and enter everything in the evidence, and then you name the culprit at the end. The last thing you can do is have a think about it. This basically just means that Alfendi will tell you, or the prof will tell you who he thinks it is, and you just move on. So there's no guessing involved. Sorry if there was a slight lag in the narration. My headset ran out of batteries, so I had to go fetch new ones, unfortunately. But we're going to get right back into it. Like I said before, having a think about it. No guessing involved. He just tells you who he thinks it is, how sure he is, and you just move on. But for the sake of this walkthrough, I think I will be investigating each crime scene before we actually go into the deductions, just to give you guys a quick look around the crime scene, and I can point out stuff that may or may not be important. So this is the apartment where the crime occurred. As you can see, a pretty basic apartment, apart from, you know, the dead guy in there. So again, a little bit of video lag. Kind of start by examining the more irrelevant scenes around the crime scene, just to kind of, I don't know, get those out of the way, I guess. Examine the table area, the bed area, which both of those really have nothing to do with anything. Well, you do see that there's a popular actor named Roscoe Strapping, which you will see later on in the game, actually. And this wardrobe area, again, not too important. You do see that telephone, they just called the police. It's the only thing that happens, but it doesn't come up at all in the case at all, so yeah. Okay, next I decide to examine the body area, which definitely is probably the most important, of course. We have the window, which of course is broken. We have the broken glass on the ground. And of course the dead guy, Mr. Potsby, appears to have been stabbed in the back. It appears the glass has been on top of the body, which does come into play later, of course. Oh, I apologize. There was a little flip there. I had to run and go get my cat off of the counter before he ate everything. So that's why it kind of flipped a little bit there. Next is the bathroom area. We have the sink, or the wash basin as they call it. Toilet, lovely. Trash can. And a scrap of card, which appears to be random, but of course it's not random. It's evidence. And it will become important. Pretty much at the very end of the case. Kitchen area, we got the fridge, got the knives, we got some trash cans, sink, and a cooking pot with some water in it. The only thing really of relevance here are the knives and the pot. Cooking pot may not seem relevant now, but it will be later. And not the way in which you would think. And here we just got the bathtub. It's just the shower area, which apparently is not connected to the bathroom. Oh, I guess it is connected to the bathroom. It's just a different area. Okay. And here we just have two things, a clock and a door. Both of which actually do become relevant later. The clock actually more so than the door. And I believe that might be it. Let me just look around. Nope, we do have the outside balcony to explore. We just have the balcony itself to look at. And something in the corner over there. A blood-stained towel. Interesting. It appears the killer must have just thrown it out as he or she were making his escape. Now I believe we're done, so I'm going to go ahead and click the name of the culprit. And guess who the culprit is? Who do I think did it? Well, obviously it was the wife, right? The wife always does it. The wife is always the wife is always the culprit. And what Lucy said, sorta. I mean, yeah, if you look at the evidence, it's pretty clear that the wife did it, actually. Spoilers, the wife did it. 96.4% probability, even. He's just that sure. But he's got that uncomfortable 3.6% band of uncertainty that we have to eliminate. And to eliminate it, we must speak directly to the suspect. And the suspect being the wife, of course. Miss Goldie Potsby Megan. Ooh, a worrying history, you say. 3 previous marriages in which her spouse died? That seems dead sus to me. If you know what I mean. Give over indeed. What a good are the police and insurance companies, I mean, come on. Really. Dead unlucky. I don't know if dead is the right adjective to be using at that point, but... Well, Lucy, I do think that she is a little bit suspicious, considering we even asked her to come in after taking her statement. And yes, we'll have to catch her off guard. The prof doesn't seem that hopeful, but we'll see what we can do. You point that index finger in the air in glee there, Lucy. She's here. Apparently, the mystery room has a doorbell. Oh, hello. Well, that's awkward. She's got a guy with a collar and a chain. That seems a little bit much. Oh, perfectly plain. Clearly. My new man. Bing here's my new man. He looks lovely. Husband? What? Oh yeah, that thing. That guy. Ah, yes. Collar. Isn't it swell? I chose it myself. Unbelievable indeed. Lucy, actually, she can do that. Well, I do declare. The police interfering in a young lady's private affairs of the heart. That's my best Goldie Potsby Mon impression. Potsby man. Probably man. Mon. I don't know. Your friend. Bing is my best friend, Inspector. You know what? I'm just now realizing this, but I think they chose her last name because she says Ma a lot, like M-A-H. I just realized that. I guess Mon, like mine, I don't know. Bingo, homeboy! They even named him Bingo, come on! Bingo was his name-o. Really? He's clearly supposed to be and they named him. That's actually pretty great, not gonna lie. Oh yeah, we didn't really introduce ourselves, did we? Inspector Layton and Lucy Baker. What did it want with little old me? Now clearly it was the no-good outlaw, but not the no-good outlaw that you think. But of course, we gotta clear up that unsettling 3.4% of uncertainty. Of course. 2 issues. The exact circumstances of the victim's death. And video leg! No. The other is how he got in, I think. Ah, I'm a genius! The W-I-N-D-O-W. It is... Sometimes it is kind of amusing to read the little arrow things. Gotta iron out the details. With the help of the murderer herself. Of course! It's time to begin our investigation. As Lucy said, let's get stuck in! I mean, that's what I say. So these are the issues we still need to clear about the case. Why did I just randomly read that dialogue? That's not even... There was nothing mildly humorous about that dialogue. Why, they're both as plain as day! My voice is too deep. I can't do female voices at all. I don't even want to begin to try to imitate what Lucy would sound like. Oh my goodness. First I do decide to click on, or just to tap a little silhouette in the middle, just to see what they would say, because I actually didn't do that the first time I played the game. And I'm gonna be a little thorough. Want to be a lot thorough, of course. Right you are. Okay, time to start investigating. Time to get stuck in. That's what she said. Alright. So clearly, the culprit will not see the point of us investigating the crime scene again. I mean, she's obviously telling the truth. See if we can't find the killer left behind by mistake. I think it's supposed to be like Summit. So we can't find something like that, I don't know. Whatever, what a poor defenseless young widow like me. And they're already losing confidence in me. We have to show them who's boss by following the directions on the top of the screen. Investigating the body. Not too hard, of course, just examine the corpse. Aye, he was fatally stabbed. The murder weapon. Yes. The murder weapon is going to turn out to be the biggest conundrum in this case. Do you quite know what you're doing, Inspector? I don't know why, I just love doing that voice for some reason. Alright. Time to track down the murder weapon. No, we're not gonna look over the balcony because we can't. They won't let me. So it's time to find the murder weapon. Now right here, I do get a little ahead of myself and examine the clock. So yeah, a little bit of spoilers. The clock will come into play, but no, not yet. It's later. I got a little bit ahead of myself here. What you actually have to do, I think you have to examine both the kitchen knives and the broken glass to continue. So we need to find a thing that you could stab people with. Kitchen knives here will clearly do the job. You are skewered with one of these, alright. But, nope. Because they're clean as a whistle. Quite unfortunate, although that would be too easy. First of all, if it were the kitchen knives, why would the murderer just put them right back where they're supposed to be? Right back where they belong? Wouldn't, like, she throw, or whoever it is, throw them away? I'm beginning to feel like you'll never find the murder weapon at all. Actually, that is a little bit of foreshadowing. Of course, you wouldn't know that the first time you play through, but that is a little bit of foreshadowing of what the actual murder weapon is. Spoilers, it's not the kitchen knives or the broken glass. So, we theorized that possibly one of the shards of glass was used to stab him. But, unfortunately, none of them matched the wounds. So that's unfortunate. Oh ma! Oh ma! What terrible bad luck! When is all this carry-on gonna end? The police? The murdering outlaw? The 61-year-old muscular man in black? I don't think he ate the knife. That's, not really logical. Yeah, no signs of physical trauma. He was stabbed in the back and has no other wounds. That means he was stabbed totally out of the blue. Oh man, I think there's a little bit of sound desync there. Oh, that kind of sucks. Oh, that's not good. Probably from all the video lag and everything, there's a little bit of sound desync, so yeah. Sorry about that. It's not that terribly off. Anyways, she theorizes that her husband fell asleep at the television and therefore didn't hear the glass getting broken, and therefore that's how he didn't put up a fight. Because that's totally logical. Totally wouldn't wake up to a window breaking. Whatever. Alright, time to move on to the other issue, which is how he got in, or how the killer got in. Which, the obvious answer is the window, but clearly it's not that obvious. Time to start investigating. Where else could someone get in? I don't know. How about the front door? What a thought! So yeah, all you have to do is examine the door and you'll continue with the investigation there. Clearly he didn't walk in through the front door. Which brings us back to the window. Lucy, what do you think? Could have been locked later on. But, unfortunately, all the doors apparently lock themselves. That kind of puts a hitch in that theory. Maybe someone let him in. She says that's why would you let a stranger in, which makes perfect sense, of course. And they would have to pass the caretaker, so that kind of puts a wrench in that theory. Wow, there's a lot more lag in this video than I thought there was. I really do apologize for that. Time to investigate the window. You would never guess what we actually have to do. Examine the window. Well, that just completely lagged. All you gotta do is zoom in and look at the window, and then you get to this part. It was smashed from the outside because there's more glass inside the house than outside. Okay, now the sound is a few seconds off, so yep, that sucks. Well, apparently it's starting to seem like the killer did actually break in and kill him, but clearly that wasn't the case, so we're going to figure out a reason why. Find the evidence on the balcony. That's the only evidence on the balcony. The bloodstained towel, clearly, is what she's talking about. So we're going to look at that. There's a bloodstained towel on the balcony here. Please. Please do not tell me. Ma, is that so? I just think her voice would be hilarious. Well, clearly it was chucked down on the balcony because the killer just had to dispose of it. Also, if I haven't mentioned it, which I don't think I did, this video is going to be split in 2 parts. And I'll split them whenever I feel it's necessary. I'm not gonna like do a specific outro for the first part because it's easier for me to narrate that way. The window was locked, so now we do learn that the window was locked, which is actually a pretty huge part of this investigation. I always check to make sure my windows are locked before I denude my body to take a shower. That dialogue was like before dialogue bubbles back, but I feel like I had to comment on that. But yes, the locked door and window definitely comes into play, because that means no one could have come in or out without breaking the window. Stupid lag! No! Shouldn't be too annoying since it's just the same music playing over and over again. And you have my commentary to listen to! Isn't that great? So we're just getting her order of events straight here. She came out after hearing the window breaking and her husband screaming, and saw her husband dead. Clearly we know that's not the case, so we have to figure out a way to refute the statement. So, we don't need the killer's help anymore. It's time to let her go. We don't really have anything on her, and we need to investigate to try to find evidence to refute her theories, but clearly we can't do that while she's standing right there. And again with the insults. She makes that facial expression so many times. Yep, window was smashed from the outside, not denying that. Nope, no room for doubt. Case closed. So like I said, it's time to let her go. But one last thing. Ah, yes. We need to make sure that she'll come in when we actually find the evidence against her. I wish you all the best.